I pulled up the first one, and then I pulled you up today, and I honestly was very surprised.
I know.
And very impressed with that downswing move.
Yeah, it's hard to do these lessons when you're filming and trying to catch all this stuff, so it makes it a much more difficult process for you. And I think it takes a lot of my focus away from me. Yeah. So you need private time when you get when you get the instruction. You go home and you work on it in private, either in your simulator or on the driving range. I think we're going to talk about where I started and where I am now and where maybe I need to be heading in the future. So I got a 7-iron in my hand. Is that what you want to see?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Ironically, I'm wearing the same outfit that I was wearing in this bay for my very first lesson. I have a new belt though. It's a new belt, same clubs. Is it the same me? It's a good question.
Good shot.
In the beginning, I felt like in order to get a shot like that, it took a lot of effort. So there's number one right there. I felt like it took a lot of effort before. That felt effortless. Felt like I made not a huge swing.
Shot.
Felt more solid.
All right, you want to look at motion measurement?
Yeah, so let's check that out. All right, what do we got?
Go to the top of the swing.
This is me today.
When I first met you, you didn't have much shoulder tilt, so at the top of the swing, you do have much more shoulder tilt than when we first met.
That looks way better.
Yeah.
I remember. This was so much flatter. And this is me not thinking. This is not putting thought into it. This is me just swinging to see if I've been karate kidded, if I've been Mr. Miyagi'd. Because remember, he was painting the fence. He didn't know what it was. And then all of a sudden, when he goes brainless, he just has these instincts and things just work out. That's what I'm hoping for here. So the Karate Kid effect. That's what we're going to title this video, the Karate Kid effect. I think that's great. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
Look at that.
That's the old, and it's hard to tell because I'm wearing basically the same outfit.
But it is.
Wow, look at the difference. The hip turn is so much better. Look at how much space is between my legs, the knee to knee here, distance, you see so much more daylight. This one you barely see any daylight, so without even thinking about it, my hips have not turned as much. There's
You've
more.
increased your shoulder tilt by 10 degrees. That's huge. And
it's
reduced hip turn by 14, 16 degrees.
Yeah, so shoulder tilt is from this point to this point, it was 24. And here it's 34 from here to here. Much better.
Your lead arm flexion has reduced by 7 degrees.
Wow. Wow.
Are you happy?
I am very happy with that. I'm happy with this. This looks good. There's even less gut in this one. I think being better at golf has made me less fat.
All because of me.
Unreal.
I helped you lose weight.
Yes, very much.
Oh my gosh. No, you can keep the camera over there.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay, never mind. We're back.
Gosh. Swing plane before. Way under the plane here.
Yeah.
Under the forearm. Let me get rid of this.
Big flippy.
Watch how it steepens.
Oh man, what? What?
Were you sandbagging me this whole time?
No, I promise.
Look at that.
That's way better.
Yeah.
I don't have to whip it around me from the top. Look.
That's shallowing so much. This is actually steepening.
The wiggle at the top is severely lessened too. That little where the club comes over me. Are you telling me this has been working?
I'm really happy about where you are there. Good job.
You kidding me right now?
I know. And when you do have less hip turn at the top, when you don't exceed the tour average, when you don't exceed what the tour players are doing, you can get back to more hip turn to impact.
It makes it easier to get back to the point you want to get to. Yeah.
107 degrees of upper body back turn.
Woo.
Versus 91.
Yeah, and 90 degrees is plenty.
Yeah. Okay, so that looks really good.
Wow. And the stability, I think, helps add a little bit of speed. Wow, that club shaft's still vertical. That one's kicked way out already.
Gotta keep working.
Yeah, man.
It's happening here for us.
So
Good
it's
job.
working. You just keep grinding it. Wow. All right, one thing I haven't shown you guys is I swapped out my 5-iron and my 4-iron for a 4 and 5 hybrid. Put these in my bag. These Ping G410s are pretty great. I know you got the new Ping G430s in here as well. It's a bad strike, but look at that. It's not going to be an awful result. That's better. Give it a little more. She's breaking at the G430 hybrid with a different shaft. What? Okay, that's way better than any I hit with mine.
That was 123, and that's like the highest you had was 118.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is it's like, okay, I know what I need to work on in my swing now going forward, but now how do I improve my bag and dial my bag in? Well, that was more down the line it felt, but bad strike. But look, the result's not that bad. I mean, try getting that result off of a poorly hit 5-iron or 4-iron.
I know.
You're not going to get it. Hybrids are the way for me.
Before I pulled up that before and after of the very first lesson versus today,
Yeah.
I'm watching you warm up and I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be that different.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's not that different?
I've had that thought quite often.
And I'm like, you know, we've had the conversation that it's not the traditional lesson structure. That's why I said that in the beginning, because I'm like kind of scared, you know, and then I pull it up. I pull
It's
the
different
first
when you're
one.
filming the videos. It's just different.
I pulled up the first one, and then I pulled you up today, and I honestly was very surprised
I know.
and very
know.
impressed with that downswing move.
Well, I didn't know that it was going to look that good either, because you and I have been going back, and in all of the work we put in, this is something important for lessons too. In all the work you're putting in, I think a lot of people think when you come in, when you're working with a pro and they've got all the lines and they tell you, okay, do this and do that, that there's going to be this fix. And then at the end of that lesson, you'll be like, okay, yeah, they're like this. And occasionally that's going to happen. But really, I have found in my experience here that the change comes weeks or days after I've put in my practice. And you give me things to work on, but I have to find it for myself. You have to find your own way in the arena that your coach has given you. And what she's talking about is trying to come into the ball correctly, not being too far from the inside and not coming way out over the top and creating a slice, but coming down on top of the golf ball with compressive speed and being in line with the golf ball. You know, if you punch somebody and you tried to do like that, it wouldn't be nearly as much as if you just drove straight in. It's the same thing. You're really trying to drive the club straight into the golf ball.
You specifically, Rob.
Yes, and it's not for everybody's going to be different. That's why one thing does not fit everybody. You've got to get your own lessons. But I was really surprised to see some of those numbers, because I have felt at times, and I know you'll admit this too, it's like, this is not working.
I know.
What's going on? This is not. This is
really
getting worse.
Fought. I think because of your experiments and
Oh,
your
God.
trial and errors through these videos, you've really fought me on the swing plan, whether you admit it or not.
No,
I've
totally.
seen it.
Totally.
Not even through our conversations with your swings, you've really kind of fought not swinging into out.
Yes.
And for me to see today that you just warming up, you were steepening the shaft and the downswing, not going over the plane, but being on plane and not under.
Come right back down on top of
It
it.
was just good.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
I am too. I'm really happy. I'm glad I came today. I think maybe if I came tomorrow or the day before, maybe it wouldn't be as nice. But no, it's been fantastic. You've been super patient this whole time. I know that dealing with me, and look, she's trying to basically fix not just a couple of bad swing thoughts or bad habits that I had. She's trying to unravel years of garbage, just so much trash. It's a lot like going into an old house and thinking, we'll just throw fresh paint on the walls. No, you got to get the 12 layers of wallpaper off first and get it down to a nice solid base, so then you can put a nice fresh coat of paint on. It's the same thing.
Layers.
It's probably true, but I was really impressed with the numbers. I'm so happy, and I know that the work doesn't stop. The work continues.
If anything, I hope this, helped you see that it's not just, you already knew this, but it's not one glove fits all or whatever. It's not everybody needs to swing from the inside as much as possible, or everybody needs to have not enough hip turn. Or,
yeah.
It's very tailored to your miss outside.
And there's a million places where things could be different.
Yeah.
We were talking about this off camera, but she agrees with me. We both are in agreement that foot and a half or 2 feet before impact, and then that foot to foot and a half after impact, that's the same for everybody. That's the universal golf swing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's universal. But how you take it away, how you come down, to a certain extent, yes, it does play a factor, because if I'm coming in from like this, it's going to be impossible for me to then get in line and come down on top of the golf ball. So yes, your downswing it needs to be on plane. You can't be coming from way inside and expect to make the correct impact line with the correct impact parameters. So there are things that must be, but other than that, I mean, are you guys trying to fit everybody into a box?
No.
That's not been my experience.
Your move, your feelings, your body mechanics, what feels to you might feel different. I'm just trying to get, like you said, and we all are just trying to get, as golf instructors, you to make the best contact with the best ball flight you want from 2 feet through the ball. And if it feels like different than what you feel, to the next guy, it doesn't have to feel the same. So no, it's definitely not. It just has to be on plane.
Oh man, and on feels. That feels are so individual.
I know.
It might be you're getting the same exact results, but your feels are completely different than this person and this person and this person. And that's really where the experimentation and stuff needs to come into play, is you messing around with things, trying to find it. It's almost like a Roomba, bumping into different walls to figure out which way it can finally go and vacuum. It's a lot of trial and error and hard work, and it can be really frustrating. I've been frustrated. I know you've been frustrated. We both have just pulled our hair out. I don't have any left. But, I mean, the numbers don't lie. That is so much better, and the yardages are better. The spin numbers are better. The ball flights are better. It's just taken longer for me than it might for a lot of people out there. You've told me you've helped people out in 1 or 2 lessons and just like that. But for me, I think it took a lot longer because of all the layers of wallpaper that had to be gone through, and so much crap that had been downloaded into my brain.
I really like to help teach to real understanding of what I'm changing or why.
Why you're doing these things.
Yeah, conversations with people of the golf swing, or why am I allowed to take it way inside? Why does it look like that? Why doesn't it look like the guys on TV?
That's a good question.
So,
at the end of the day, though, is it fair to say that everything you guys measure here has a direct correlation to trying to get that 3-foot impact window to be correct?
Yes.
And that's why the numbers and the angles are all
only thing we're
important.
trying to do.
Yep. And there's still room for your individuality.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks. I'm going to wrap it. All right. One of those.
No, cut that out. Cut that out.
Oh, well, I'll cut that out.
That was the most awkward.